Hey everyone, it's Ken. Just a quick warning to people who have Windows 11. Um, there's a huge issue with Windows 11, and it's actually being now going worldwide. Where basically Windows has got what they put in it is they're trying to make it into an AI system, so like everything's AI. Um, but what's happened now is they've installed an application called uh, Recall. Now, Recall is the point here where there's the big issue because what Recall does is it captures every keystroke you have on the computer. That includes if you put in a credit card, a password, anything, a form, everything you have done with your keyboard is recorded and is apparently stored in a database on your computer. The reason for this on their end is so that it's easy to recall or bring back something that you've done, so you don't have to search it again. And fill out forms that so you don't have to remember all this kind of stuff and passwords. And the only issue with this is that it's got very low security on this database. So pretty much anybody can get your computer and get all the information just by copying it onto a disk drive and walking away. They can just open it up in their computer, and then all your information is there. It's also a portion of it is uploaded to Microsoft. So a lot of the data or personal data you have is being sent to Microsoft so they can sell it. And yes, companies do sell your information because they get money from it. They'll advertise that they have this information, and companies will buy it so they can send you advertisement. And that's the other thing too. I mean, this is a machine that you bought. It's all yours, and Windows is on it, and there's all kinds of ads now on it. So they're adding ads to pretty much anything, again, to make money. Another application is the Copilot. Copilot is supposed to be an AI that's supposed to help you write things or fill things in or whatnot. It is hugely inaccurate. It's messing a lot of people up. And it's really, really, this is again worldwide, but when you have people who are working in a department or whatever, and they're sharing documents, whatnot, and Copilot makes mistakes. Some people have to go through the whole thing again to see where the mistakes are. So it's really, really causing a lot of time issues. Of course, another thing that Microsoft is experiencing now is that a lot of countries now are banning Windows 11. And just kind of imagine this scenario. Say you're in a hospital and you're a nurse, and you're typing all this stuff into a database, or the forms they have to fill or whatnot. Say it's your information, what blood tests you've had, what medicines you've had, and so on and so forth. They keep track of everything you've taken. Now this thing's being stored into the database somewhere where everybody can access to and see exactly, your SIN number, your OHIP number, everything you've taken, all the issues if you've had when you go in. All that is there for somebody to view. So that is again a huge violation of the private rights in a hospital settings or on the health side. Sorry, I forgot what the exact name is. But now it's being banned in a lot of countries because it is storing information that Microsoft doesn't need to know. And Microsoft is fighting back, obviously saying, it's for the best of the person and so forth. So in my view, with Windows is that it's very, very intrusive. It wants to control you. So I downloaded Windows 10 and I removed Windows 11, put in Windows 10. And Windows 10 is not as bad. It's got Copilot. But here's an issue again with Microsoft. I went through Windows 10 so that I can have a clean machine. I don't want updates. I took out Copilot, and I, went on the website, said you got to do this, and 10 things you got to do. So I did. And it was working very well. Then I came in the next day, and I noticed that my computer had logged me out. So I logged back in, and all the changes I made had been reversed. And my updates, which I had turned off, were updating. So there's something in the Microsoft software that basically says, we don't care what setting you make. We want it to be this way. We want you to have updates, so we're going to turn it back on. We want Copilot on there, so we're going to turn it back on. We're going to look at all the settings you made. We're going to turn it back on. And it's not to do with the actual updates themselves. It is a software that have built into the actual applications, basically saying, or written in there saying, we're not going to allow you to make changes. We want the system the way we want it, not the way you want it. So yeah, it's very frustrating because you buy the computer, you Windows 11's on it, you think it's all yours, but as soon as you connect it to the internet, Microsoft basically says we're controlling your PC. If you're not going to have Word unless you pay for it. You're not going to have this unless you pay for it, and it's just very much a money-based and extremely dangerous software. Anyway, so that's my rant. I forgot to say that I'm moving away from Microsoft to Linux. There's moving to Linux is, even though it may look fine because it looks exactly like Windows, but there are some changes that you need to make. There's some applications that don't work in Linux at this time, but there are countries now that are completely moving over to Linux. It's a good piece of software. It's faster. It doesn't have everything running in the background like Windows does. The only thing I would have to say with what I'm going through with Windows or with Linux is that you're going to find applications that do not work in Linux. Like this video software here won't work in Linux. Obviously Word, the Microsoft stuff that obviously works in Microsoft Word and applications and whatnot. But there are alternatives already in Linux, and they're pretty good. I mean, they will take in Word documents and they'll change them, and it looks exactly like Microsoft applications. So Linux is working hard at giving you a desktop that looks exactly like Microsoft, and the one I have looks exactly like Microsoft screen. Just the icons are different. I've been babbling now for 8 minutes, so take care, everyone, and bye.